The Rambling Geordie.
Hello everyone, this is going to be a different kind of video today. Just wanted to reflect on the news about Charlie Kirk. Obviously everyone and their mother knows what happened to the guy. Please don't say that he died, because that's oversimplifying it. He was assassinated. He was murdered at Utah University. He was doing what he did best. He was debating ideas, talking to people. He wasn't being rude. He wasn't being violent, anything like that. Any of these things that the left have called him out for doing, which he hasn't done. He's not that kind of a guy. He was debating, he was talking about ideas and trying to come to some kind of consensus with people, which a lot of people on the left nowadays just can't do. They just can't do it, particularly far left. They just cannot get this idea through their head that other people might not think like them. It doesn't make them a bad person, it just means they've got different ideas. But of course, whenever there's any sort of discourse between the two sides, whenever there's any sort of disagreement, it's always the right who are at fault, isn't it? It's always the right, far right this, far right that. Nazis. That's what we're labelled as now. I'm not even on the right. I'm probably in the centre, if I'm completely honest with you. Yet I still get called a Nazi. I wouldn't wish harm on fucking anyone. I wouldn't wish harm on me worst enemy. And yet this is the label that we're struck with. Anyone who doesn't fall to the far left ideology is simply a Nazi, that's it. And well, it just goes to show that words do have consequences sometimes. Now, I'm not calling for the boycott of any of this shit. I'm not calling for people to have the right to call someone a Nazi taken away. If you want to call me a Nazi, call me a Nazi. I don't give a shit. I know in my heart that I am not what you claim for me to be. And this is the same sentiment that is felt by everyone else who is not far left. In this country, in America, all over the world, people don't fucking care now. The far left have pushed people, normal, everyday kind of people, to just not care anymore. Charlie was a sort of guy who he had ideas that some people won't like. Well, alright, great. Everyone's got ideas that someone else won't agree with. But the reaction I'm seeing about it, far left arseholes on TikTok and Twitter and Facebook celebrating the fact that this guy's dead, that he's been murdered in front of his wife and children, by the way. His wife and kids were there when it happened. Can I just ask anyone who's on the far left now to please explain to me how reacting in this way to the assassination of a guy who had different thoughts to yourself, but who wouldn't harm a fucking fly, let's be honest with you. How does that make you a more righteous person than Charlie Kirk? How does that make you superior to Charlie Kirk in any sort of way? How do you, like you and your ilk always claim, how do you justify saying things like, I'm on the right side of history? Saying that you have empathy for people and that you're full of love. There's no hate on our side and all this sort of crap. When all you've got is arseholes dancing around and celebrating the fact that a man was murdered. Did he go around fucking skinning puppies or kittens? Did he go around stabbing kids and bombing people or shooting people, anything like that? No. He had conservative values. And he wanted peace and love in his country. That's all he ever wanted. He wanted law and order, crazy people to get some help, and for people to just get along. That's all he wanted. So the next time a leftist comes up to you and tells you that your politics are wrong, everything you do or see is wrong, it's bigoted, it's homophobic, it's transphobic, it's fucking this, that, the other, tell them quite clearly to go fuck themselves. If you know in your heart that there's not a thing you've done to physically or emotionally hurt someone, then there's not a damn thing they can do or say to you to make you feel any different. You don't have to agree with anything that Charlie Kirk stood for. You don't have to agree with anything that he said, any ideas that he had at all. Just to be able to be a human being and feel at least a little bit of sadness that a married father of two, has been assassinated in front of people for talking, for sharing ideas and trying to understand other people's points of view, trying to put his point of view across to people, let them understand where he's coming from, and trying to listen to other people. That's the crime this guy has committed. For those celebrating that, shame on every single fucking one of you.
Don't be daft, man.